Hi, I'm Paul Hinkle with DoItNowCoach.com. This is week 6, lesson 6 of Do It Now Productivity and Personal Development Coaching. This video will teach you self-talk strategy, how to use shadow work and affirmations to clear obstacles and achieve any goal, dream, project you want to complete. Have you ever been stopped, slowed by negative thinking or negative energy coming from within yourself? Have you ever heard those messages that say, you can't do that? Or you start a big project and this mental message you get says, gee, I don't know if you can make that happen. There's going to be a lot of obstacles. You're going to have a lot of problems. Why don't you watch some TV instead? Are you willing to admit to yourself that these things happen to you? Do you ever see other people and make a judgment based on how they look or sound, where they're from, the color of their skin? These are all examples of negative or dark side personality traits that we all have. This is negative energy. It stops us when we want to do something that you've never made $1 million in a year before, and you set a goal to make $1 million in a year. You're going to have all kinds of messages from your brain, especially if you haven't done that. They're going to say things like, maybe you can't do that, or maybe you're not going to be able to do that, or are you qualified enough to do that? And maybe you aren't. The messages you will get sometimes from your brain are not messages that will help you achieve those goals or achieve the dreams that you want to achieve. In fact, they will hinder you. They can stop you because you can start believing those messages in your brain. We hear those messages all the time, and those messages are from our shadow side. Before we get into the shadow side, let's talk about other messages we sometimes get in our brain. Do you ever have the messages like, you can do this, you got this, or you really are determined, you've set up a project, you set up a goal, and work on it step by step. You hear that negative voice in your brain, but you put this other voice in there also that says, I can do this, I know I can do this, I have done this before, I've done something like this before, I've learned what I need to learn to do this, and you have the right attitude that allows you to go forward in spite of the negative self-talk that is going on the other side. Positive first-person statements that support your goals are called affirmations. Would you like to get control of your progress forward achieving goals? Would you like to achieve your goals and clear obstacles from negative internal self-talk and push forward to climb to your dreams? I want to show you how using shadow work and affirmation. You can use shadow work and affirmations to clear the path and climb to your dreams. Here's how. First, let's talk about shadow work and your shadow side. The first question is, what is your shadow? Your shadow is the dark side of your personality. Carl Jung, 20th century psychiatrist, did the research, said that we all have a shadow side of personal qualities or traits we repress or we ignore. Those dark personality traits make up your shadow. Your shadow side can affect your moods, your actions, how you interact with other people. It's there all the time. We want to be aware of that shadow. We don't have to become that shadow side, but those are traits we all have. We don't have to be those traits. We choose who we are. But yes, those things can affect you. If you're not aware that they're affecting you, they'll affect you more. Become aware of your shadow side. Become aware of your negative traits of personality that could affect you, that could harm you. Observe them. Shine the light on them. What is shadow work? Shadow work is the process of uncovering your dark personality traits. It's shining the light on your dark personal traits. Here's what Carl Jung said about that. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making darkness conscious. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Find these negative self-traits in yourself, like jealousy, envy, reacting to what other people are doing and then discovering it's exactly what you do. That's called projection. when you find yourself doing these things, these are shadow side, negative personality traits that are coming out. It's okay to acknowledge them, to understand them. It doesn't mean you have to accept them as who you are. It just means that when you see that trait come out, for example, oh my gosh, I'm jealous of that guy. Look at that. I've got this jealousy. There it comes again. There's my shadow side talking again. You can let it pass. I heard a story about somebody that met a couple, thought they were acting kind of pretentious when they talked about how they named their baby using letters from their own names. They immediately had a judgment come in their head. Oh, how pretentious. But then they dropped that judgment very quickly. And they have been doing shadow work. They've been working on knowing that they had those kind of judgments pop up. Oh, there it is. And then they could ignore it. It doesn't have to become part of their permanent judgment. Shadow work is your process to reduce the power of your dark personality traits. Clear your path to success and climb to your dreams. You can shadow work in a couple of ways. One of them is tracking or stalking. When you see your shadow popping in, giving you input, make a note of it. You can make a note of it on audio journal, digital journal, or a written journal. At the end of the day, you could make some notes and say, today I was driving and I noticed that my shadow side was doing a lot of talking to me, was telling me how to tell other people how to drive. I was getting triggered by other people's actions on the highway. I was getting triggered by political commentary I heard on the radio. Talk about how your shadow affects you and interacts with you, stalking or tracking your shadow. This activity helps you shine the light on your shadow, shine your light on how it's interacting with you during the day. It takes away the power. It takes away the fear, knowing it's there, but not letting it take control or power over you, recognizing it, understanding it, but not buying into it. Another way to do shadow work is to use journaling shadow prompts. I provide 15 or more in the link down below to the blog article that we have on shadow work. Shadow prompts are questions to use when journaling to help you expose your shadow, expose how your shadow is hurting your forward movement toward the success you want. Here's an example of a few shadow prompts. Do you notice other people with the same negative or dark side habits as you? Have you acknowledged your negative traits? Have you noticed your negative traits exposed in other people, the traits you really don't want anybody to know about? This is called projection, and people do it all the time. You get upset about what other people are doing. You look in the mirror and you realize they are actually showing a mirror up of you. Here's what Carl Jung said about that. Everything that irritates us about others can lead to an understanding of ourselves. Think about this. This is another way to do shadow work. Notice what irritates you about other people, and then look in yourself. Ask yourself in your journaling, is this me? Do I have this trait? Am I seeing this in these other people because it's who I am? That's a hard pill to swallow, but it's the understanding that will help you move forward. It's okay to notice these things in other people because it helps you expose what could be bad or harmful in yourself. And you understand it's there. You understand it can pop up. You take away its power by doing shadow work and stalking those attitudes and ideas that come from your shadow side. A good shadow prompt: forgive yourself. What do you need to forgive yourself for? What do you need to forgive others for? You see, our shadow side will remind us about the pain and the suffering we have. If we forgive others, we need to forgive, we can drop that pain. We know it's there. Yes, they did whatever they did, but if you can forgive them and forgive yourself, you can help eliminate or reduce the power of your shadow side. Your shadow side represents your negative personality traits that we all have. The shadow side of your personality is made up of the traits you don't want or don't like. Recognize those traits. Recognize how they affect you, and you will take away their power. Now, take control of your positive steps forward using affirmations backed up by action. What is an affirmation? An affirmation is a positive first-person statement of you as you want to be achieving your goal. It doesn't have to be necessarily true, but it needs to be backed up by action. If you back it up by action, you can get the result. If you use an affirmation over and over and you don't take any action behind it, you're deluding yourself. Affirmations without action are delusion. However, affirmations with action are a winning combination. Use affirmations to climb the path for your success. Here's how to use affirmations. Develop positive first-person statements. You've probably already used them in the past. You got this. You can do this. Whenever you were under a lot of pressure, you might have said, I'm confident I can get this done. That was you giving yourself positive self-talk or an affirmation saying you could do this thing. I can do this. I love waking up in the morning. I love getting lots of work done. Make affirmations that speak to anything you want to accomplish. You want to be more efficient? Do you want to be more effective? Set up some affirmations and goals. Do the shadow work to clear your path. Put some affirmations in. For example, let's say you're not happy with your work ethic. You want to work harder. Some affirmations. I work hard every day. I work hard to complete a project, and then I take a small break, and then I work harder on the project. Figure out affirmations that help you pump yourself up and direct action. You can do this whether you're an artist or whether you're an engineer, whatever business you're involved in, especially in sales. It's very helpful to pump yourself up before sales calls and remind yourself you're good at something. I know a speaker, before every speech, he'd be talking to a mirror saying, I'm a great speaker. People want to take action when they hear me speak. People want to chase their dreams. People want to improve themselves when they hear me speak. They can see the love in my eyes. They can see who I am, that I want to help them. They want to help themselves because of what they see in my eyes. You want to be saying the right internal self-talk and use affirmations to power that. DoItNowCoach.com offers a self-talk plan template to help you work on your shadow work, that walks you through your shadow work and helps you set up and complete your daily affirmations for success. The link is down below for that PDF. I hope I've earned a like and a share. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to keep receiving these videos every time we put a new one up. You get a free 52-week coaching program at DoItNowCoach.com. Make sure you've signed up down below. Thank you, Paul Hinkle at DoItNowCoach.com.